skewed. Positive skewed or right skewed. If there is no skewness means it is called as normal distribution or symmetrical distribution where the mean, median and mode will be the same. Where the mean, median, mode will be the same. Right? The same thing I have written here. If the distribution is symmetrical, mean is equal to median is equal to mode. If the distribution is right skewed, the median is going to lie between mode and mean. Okay, the mode is going to be the less than the mean value. If the skewness is left skewed with respect to median lies between mode and mean, and mode is going to be greater than the mean. Right? Next one is if the skewness value, we are going to identify the skewness value. If the skewness value is less than 0, it is called as negative skewed or left skewed. If the skewness value is equal to 0, it is called as symmetric. If the skewness value is equal to greater than skewed or right skewed. Right? The skewness value, you are going to identify the skewness value. Skewness value. Next one is called as kurtosis. So skewness is going to tell the shape like this in terms of shape. Okay. So whatever the shape you are having, the width, it is going to explain the width. Whereas the height is given by the kurtosis. The kurtosis is going to give the peakness, that is the height. Height is given by the kurtosis. Okay. If you are having very high, height is very high and the thickness is missed, width is low and height is very high, then it is called as leptokurtic. And if it is a normal distribution, then it is called as mesokurtic. If it is very flat, means the data is like this, very flat. The height is very low and the distance, the width is very high. Height is very low. Then it is called as plateaukurtic. Right? So the next one is kurtosis. Skewness and kurtosis tells about the shape of the data. They are going to explain the shape, how the entire shape of the data is there. They are explaining the shape. So these both are called as measures of shape. Skewness and kurtosis are called as measures of shape. Okay. The same thing I have uploaded in the drive also. Okay. In your drive, you can check with respect to the measures of shape where you are having with respect to skewness. Okay. The same left skewed, right skewed examples I have given, and the diagrams, whatever the diagrams I have shown you, everything I have uploaded along with the kurtosis. Everything is in the drive. Is that clear, guys? Next one is we are going to start the topic called as percentile. Percentile. Okay. Percentile is going to tell you the position. Percentage is going to give the value. Tile means position. Okay. You are in the top 1 percentile. What is the meaning of 1 percentile? 1 percentile means in the class, entire class, how many students are there? Irrespective of that, you are in the top 1 percentage. Means, for example, in the class, 10,000 people are there. Your rank is out of 100 only. If 20,000 people are there, your rank is below 200. Is called as top 1 percentile. Percentile tells that how many of them are below to you. Okay. So percentile, what percentile describes means the percentage of data values that fall below to another data value. Means to your value, how many data values are there below to you is given by percentile. In the CAT examination, we are going to get the percentile. You are going to get CAT examination 95 percentile. They are going to say, what is the meaning of 95 percentile? 95% of the people are below to you. How many have attempted that exam? 95% of the people are below to you. You are in the top 5 percentile. Your CAT exam is 99 percentile, means 99% of the people are below to you. Percentile, it is going to give the percentile. CAT exam is going to give you the percentile. It is going to say how many people are below to you. Okay. So for example, here there are marks of 15 students are there. Out of 50, 34, 20, 35, 39, 38, like this I'm having for 15 students. What I'm going to do is, for example, I want to calculate the percentile, means first I have to convert this one as an ordered array. Everything I want to convert to an order. Then only I can calculate the percentiles. Okay, first you have to convert everything to an order. Now in this 50 percentile means 50% of the data values are below to his. 50 percentile is also called as median. 25 percentile means 25% of the data points are below to you. 30 percentile means 30% of the data points. 40 means 40% of the data. 50 means 50% of the data. 80 means 80% of the data. Whatever the percentile you are saying, that much of data is below to you. For example, you are saying 75 percentile. What is the meaning of 75 percentile? For example, this is the value 75 percentile. Let us assume this is 75 percentile. 75% of the data is below to this. That is the meaning. Okay. How much percentage of data is below to you? That is represented by percentile. Okay. So here, how to calculate the percentile? For any data set, how to calculate the percentile? Percentile is calculated by using the formula called as P by 100 into N. Okay. It is going to give you the position. This is going to give you the position, not the value. We are not going to focus on the value, position. In that position, whatever the value is there, that is the value. Okay. So P divided by 100 into N. What is meant by P? Whatever the percentile you want, that percentile you have to write here. 10 percentile means 10 you are going to write. 20 means 20 you are going to write. 30 percentile means 30 you are going to write. Whichever the percentile you are interested, that percentile you have to write here. Divide by 100 into N. What is N means? Total number of data points. If the value you have got as a decimal value, if you have got directly as a whole number or decimal value, two options you will get. Either you will get as some kind of 2, sometimes you will get 2.4. Okay. So then if you are getting as 2.4 like this, then for this 2.4, you have to add plus 1. If it is not a whole number, you have to add plus 1 and you have to make it as round figure. If it is a directly whole number, means you have to consider that directly that whole number. Okay. If it is a whole number, means you have to calculate the average of the values of that particular. For example, I will show you with an example. So here there is a data set 14, 12, 19, 23, 5, 13, 28, 17. This is the original data set they have given. For the original data set, first I have to convert to an order. Ascending order I have to convert. Now I want the 30th percentile value. How to calculate the 30th? 30 divided by 100. Total number of data points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have got 2.4. Since I have got the decimal value here, I am going to add plus 1. I plus 1. That is 2.4 plus 1, which is 3.4. I am going to make it as round figure to 3. If it is 0 more than 3.5 means round figure to 4. So here it is round figure to 3 means the third position value, whatever is in the third position, this is the 30th percentile value. Is that clear? Next. Yeah, if after you are going to get the some value now, after getting this value, if it is whether it is a whole number or whether it is a decimal value. If it is a decimal means add plus 1. If you have got only 2, for example, you have got only 2. Now 2 and this second position and third position average you have to take. Okay, that is the meaning. As a whole number means, then you have to take the average of whatever the number you have got here. 2, if you have got 2 means 2 and 3. Average of 2, that is the thing. If you have not got as a whole number means, you have to take plus 1 for that and you have to convert that one to a whole value. Right? Generally, we are not going to do any manual calculation. In Python, automatically will be calculated. Just I am showing you. Okay. Don't worry, because in the real life, we are not going to do any manual calculation. Okay. Next one is called as quartiles. What is meant by quartiles? Quartile 1 is 25 percentile value is called as quartile 1. Quartile, not quarter. Okay. Quartile. Quartile means 25 percentile. Quartile 1 means 25 percentile. Quartile 2 means 50 percentile. Quartile 3 means 75 percentile. Okay. 25 percentile is Q1. Q2 is given by 50 percentile. Q3 is given by 75 percentile. So Q1 is nothing but 25 percentile of the data is below to your data points. That from that position it is below. 50 percentile, 50% of the data points are below to this. 75% of the data is below to this. Q1 is also called as 25 percentile value, exact value. Q2 is called as 50 percentile value, which is also called as median. Okay. Q2 is the name, 50 percentile is the name or same. Q2 is nothing but with respect to 50 percentile, which is also called as median. Q3 is equal to 75 percentile. Now, whatever the quartile values you are going to get, it is not necessarily to the member of that data set. So, for example, you have got 5 and 12. The 25 percentile is between these one means it is not known to the member of the data set. Example, I am going to show you an example. So, here you are having the entire data like this, where Q1, Q2 and Q3. So, what is meant by Qs are below to this. So, let us take with an example. Now, this is an ordered array. Order means already I have arranged in the order. So, total how many data points are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 data points are there. Now, first I am going to calculate the Q1 value. 25 divided by 100 into 8. I have got a round figure of 2. What is meant by round figure of 2? 2 plus third one, you have to take the average of these two, which is 111.5. This is the 25 percentile value. What is meant by the data is below to that. For the total 8 data points, what is the 25 percentile? 25%. It is nothing but 2 data points only, right? 8 into 0.25, which is equal to 2. So 2 data points are below to this. Less than 11.5, 2 data points are there. Satisfied? 50 divided by 100 into 8 is equal to 4. Again, you have got as a round figure. So directly you have got as this one. So 4th position and 5th position average you are going to take. This is 118.5. For this 4 data points are below to this. Satisfied? 8 into 0.5. 4 data points should be there. 4 data points are below to this. Next one is 75 percentile. 75 percentile is nothing but 75 divided by 100 into 8. 6. 6 is nothing but 6 and 7 average, which is 123.5. 75% of the data is below to that. Is that clear? Simple. Average of these two values. Here you have got 2 now. This is the position. Second position and third position average. Average of second position and third position value. Average means 2 only, right? 2 data points means 2 only, right? Here you are considering 2 data points means average means of 2 data points means divide by 2. If you are considering 3 data points means you have to divide by 3. I am saying average of second and third position. Whatever the ith position plus I plus 1 position, you have to take the positions. Average of I and I1, I plus 1 positions you have to take whenever you have got a round figure like this. Is that clear? Whenever you have got a round figure of like this, what I am saying, this is I value. I and I plus 1 average. What is I plus 1? Fourth, what is the fourth value? This is the fourth and this is the fifth value. Average of these two. Done? Next one is called as interquartile range. What is meant by interquartile range? Means Q3 minus Q1 is called as interquartile range, which is also called as IQR. Shortcut is IQR. IQR is nothing but Q3 minus Q1. Okay, which is interquartile range. And next one. Don't confuse the percentage with percentile. What is the difference between percentage and percentile? For example, here the student has got 31 marks. What is the percentage miss? 31 divided by 50 into 100. That is 62%. He has got 62%. This is fixed. The percentage is not going to vary. If there is also, it is fixed. 200 members are there also, this is fixed. 10,000 members are also there also, it is fixed. But percentile varies to person. For example, your rank is going to be dependent on how many number of students are there. Right? So here the percentile means it depends upon the number of data points. Whereas percentage is irrespective of data points. For example, in your class, you have got 75% in your BTech. What is your rank? Percentage is okay. What is your rank? Rank is going to be dependent on other students' marks. If other students are having with respect to more than this means, your rank will be lower. If you are the topper and no other student is more than you means, obviously you are the class topper. Right? For the class topper, is the percentage is dependent. Percentage is different and class rank is different. Class rank is dependent on the number of students. Similarly, percentile will be dependent on the number of people. Okay, one of them, like Kaggle. I told you, international competition, Kaggle. Obviously, you have to attempt by end of the course. After 3 months, you have to take this one. Once the machine learning is completed, you have to take. So here, just I'm logging with my ID. Okay, this is me. And with respect to here, I'm going to take one of the data set. Any data, I'm not going to ask which data set you are going to work. Any data set you can work, right? So for example, this is the competition. One of the data set, this is the competition. Where here there is a submit predictions is there. Na? When there is an option of submit prediction means it is open. If there is no submit prediction means it is not open. That is the meaning. Any competition which you want to take means there should be like this. Submit prediction should be open. Then you can submit that one. Now in this case, I have submitted for this. Assume. Okay. Now in this, what is my rank? It is going to be dependent on the number of people who are attempting. If somebody has attempted today and see this person has attempted last 8 hours. 8 hours before only he has uploaded and he has got the first rank and he has not given any name also. Okay, it is going to be dependent. And so where is my, mine is 141. Okay, 141. Just it is an example. I have not done the work while explaining to the students. Just I have done directly. I have uploaded. Okay, I am not the fresher now. For me, it is not fresher, or for me, the Kaggle rank is not important because I am not having a career transition towards data science. Already, I am a senior data scientist. For me, this is not important for me. Just I have casually I have attempted and just I have taken this one. And here, out of 13,906 people, I have got 141. So what is this meaning is with respect to 1 percentile means 139. If your rank 139 means less than 139 means you are in the top 1 percentile. If your rank is below 278 means you are in the top 2 percentile. Means just multiplication of 2 into 139. So my rank is less than 278 only, right? So I am in the top 2 percentile. Just if you have attended the class 2 days before for 7 AM batch, at that time my percentile is in top 1. 2 days back. In these 2 days, some students has been attempted. So that it has been changed to top 2. If it is crossing to top 3, if it is crossing top 2 also means, then I will attempt. Surely I will attempt. There is no limited number of submissions. You can attempt number of times. And it is going to consider the latest one. Whatever the latest one you have written, that is going to be considered. See, this person has attempted 17 times. 49 times. Oh, 38, 46. Number of attempts. This is nothing but number of attempts column. entries. Oh, this person 226 are extraordinary. First, we have to appreciate for his patient. This much of patience level we have to appreciate. Okay. So here we are going to say in our resume we are going to keep, in my resume I am going to keep top 2 percentile from Kaggle. I am going to write like this. During the demo also I have told you, right? Top 2 percentile only. In my demo sessions, if you have the recordings, you can open. Okay, I have told you at that time that Kaggle international competition, and I have told you top 2 only. I know at the time top 1 only. I am in the top 1 only, but still I have told top 2. Because suddenly if I open it is rank change miss, you may think that I am lying. You don't know that these people will attempt in between. I can't explain everything in the demo session, right? Simply I have told top 2. That's it. Now, if you keep in your resume like this in top 2 percentile, what happens? They are going to ask you what type of competition you have taken. And you are going to explain this is the competition. Can you explain me what are the steps you have followed? You are going to start, sir, first I have taken this data set and I have done this one. You are going to explain. Interview process will be continued. Oh, why you have that one only you have done? Why you have done this one only? What if I done this one, what happens? Like this, the technical questions will be continued. If you have given the correct answers, everything miss, they are going to give the job. What are the work you have done? Just explain the same work. Nothing else you should do in the interview. Prove that you are having the subject. That's it. Right? By end of this course, 100% interview call you are going to get. 100%. Interview call is 100%. If you follow every class and whatever the things we are discussing, if you keep in your resume at the end, 100% you will get the call. Now, whether you are understanding that one or not, that is important. You are keeping in the resume, you are going to keep the statistics. I am going to ask you the statistics question. Miss, you are answering or not, that is important. Just everyone will write the statistics code, but how many people will understand the statistics? That is important, right? So interview call is getting as interview call is simple. You have to prove there, right? Something we are discussing. Again, we have came out of. So percentile. We are discussing about the percentile, and don't confuse with the percentage. Percentage is going to be fixed with your own, whereas percentile is going to be dependent on the others. Okay. Next, summary. Next one we used to call as 5-number summary. 5-number summary is going to give the entire distribution of the data. What 5 numbers? Which 5 numbers miss? Minimum value, first quartile value, that is Q1, median value Q2, quartile 3, and maximum value. 0 percentile, 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile, and 100 percentile. These 5 values are going to give us the entire data, how the data has been distributed. The entire data we are having, the entire data is distribution is given by 5 values. And using these 5 values, for example, here I am having, these are the numbers, total numbers, out of which 33 is the median value, 25 is the quartile 1 value, 36 is the quartile 3 value. Minimum value is 10 and maximum value is 59. Okay, minimum value is 10 and maximum value is 59. Now using these to represent a plot called as box whiskers plot. Using these 5 values, we are going to represent the plot called as box whisker plot. Okay, simply called as box plot, shortcut box plot. Okay, how this box plot is getting represented. Okay, just I am going to show you how the box plot is get represented. So here I am having these 5 values now, 10, 25, 33, 36 and 59. Now using these 5 values, I am going to represent the plot. Just you are going to represent the 10. Whatever the 10 is there, just draw the line of 10. Draw the line wherever the 25 value is there, draw the line. For 33, draw the line. For 36, draw the line. For 59, draw the line. For 5 numbers, 5 lines you draw. Okay. Like this, you are going to draw 5 lines. This is minimum value line. This is Q1 line, Q2 line, Q3 line, and maximum line. 5 lines you are going to draw. Now this quarters you are going to attach by the box, and this one you are going to attach by viscous. This center we are going to attach these three values by using the box. We are going to attach by viscous. These are called as viscous. These are called as viscous. In between box and viscous, so it is called as box viscous plot or box plot shortcut. Right? Okay, sir. Box plot is there. Now, what is the use of box plot? 5-number summary is going to explain. Now, what is the use of box plot? That is important, right? Now, box plot is going to tell us whether the data is skewed or not. From the box plot also we can identify. From the histogram we can see. From the box plot also we can identify whether the data is skewed or not. How we can identify from the whether the data is skewed means if you are having unequal boxes like this, if the boxes are not same, then which box is having the maximum length? That box is called as skewed. If the left side box is having the maximum length means left skewed. If the right side box is having the maximum length means right skewed. First priority for the box. Sir, boxes are equal, sir. Now you have to give the priority, next priority to the viscous. If the boxes are same means viscous. Viscous, if the right side viscous is long means automatically it is a right skewed. Now boxes are same and viscous are same, automatically it is called as symmetrical. Right? First priority. So now for example, you are having a what type of distribution is this? Right skewed or left skewed? How many are going with left? Rice. How many are going with right? Rice. Only one. Two pepper. So first priority you have to give for the boxes. Don't see the viscous. First box. If the box is equal only, next only whisker. First you have to see only the box. Okay. Generally the skewed, whether the data is skewed or not, whether data is skewed or not, we are going to identify one by checking the skewness value, directly by taking the skewness value. Two, by using the histogram. From the histogram, we are going to say the left skewed or right skewed, the bell, whatever the curve is there, the curve based on the curve from the histogram. And the third one is by using the box plot. From the box plot also we can say. Three options are there. At the end, everything is going to give the same answer. Mostly, we are going. The major purpose of histogram is to tell whether the data is skewed or not. Histogram purpose is to say whether the data is skewed or not. So then what is the use of box plot generally means? Box plot is used not to check for skewness generally. Of course, here skewness also we can check, but major purpose of box plot is to check whether outliers are available or not. Outliers are there or not. Outliers are there or not. Sir, what is meant by outliers? That we are going to see now. That is the major purpose why we are going to apply the box plot. Okay, what is meant by outliers? Let us go. Let us understand what is outliers. Outliers are nothing but a data value which is somewhat far away from the given data. Any data value which is somewhat far away, which is distant. Distant means far away from the data. Sir, what is meant by that? In this would be a student's age generally here 21, 22, 23, 24, 21, 22, something. Every age will be between 21 to 24. Okay. If you are 4 years of experience or 5 years of experience also, maximum age will be 26. If any person in this class 50 years of age is there, Let us assume there is a 50 years person is there in this class. Now, for this particular students, he is an outlier. He is also sitting in this batch only, but he is considered as an outlier. Okay. So here, outliers are nothing but which are far away from the given data. So how we are going, all the data points are between 5 to 10, between that 4 data points are there. From 10 to 15, 8 data points are there. From 15 to 20, 6 data points are there. Like this, every data point is there. Only one data point is there from 50 to 55, which is somewhat far away. This particular data point is called as an outlier, which is somewhat far away. So in this case, all of them are 50, 51, 69, 73, like this is there. Single digit 3 is an outlier. And this case, all the numbers are 20, like this is there. One is 9,000 is there, which is an outlier. For this, an outlier. Okay, in the given data set only it is available, but which is not matching to other data points. So it is called as an outlier. If there is an outlier, what happens? Assume there is an outlier. What happens if there is an outlier? Let us go with the temperature of, this is one of the place in the UK, and they have collected the data on the July 1st. Okay. Now 2015, 2014, 2013 and 2012 and 11 and 10 and 9. On that particular year, and the date is this one and time is at 12 o'clock. Exactly at the time only they have collected. Every year they have collected at this particular time. Now on 2015, it is having 26 degrees. 2014, it is having 15 degrees. That 2013 year, 20 degrees. 2012 year, 31 degrees. 2011, minus 350 degrees is there. Minus 350. Is that possible? Minus 350 centigrade. Any person will be living. Some kind of error. Might be, they might be entering instead of 35, they might be entered while entry, some enters they will be doing. Or the sensor not has been worked on that particular day. The instrument, some instruments will have errors, right? Every instrument is not perfect, right? On the day particularly, it has got some kind of error. In 2010, 31. In 2009, it is 30.5. Now, if there is an outlier, we know this is an outlier. Very clearly, we can see that this is an outlier. If there is an outlier, what happens? If you calculate the mean value, by taking all the data points, if you calculate the mean, what is the value you are going to get? Minus 28. Is minus 28 is the average temperature in that city? What is the city temperatures are there? 26, 15, 20, 31, 31, 30 is there. But due to one outlier, the average value has been changed off. The entire average value has been changed off due to one. Now average value it is saying as minus 28. Due to this outlier, it is saying as minus 28. None of the year is having minus. House, right? So here, the mean is getting affected by the presence of outliers. If there is an outlier, means the statistical analysis, the mean will be affected. If the mean is affected, means automatically variance will be affected, standard deviation will be affected, everything will be affected. The entire statistical analysis will be affected by presence of outliers. Okay, if you calculate with let us take this one without outlier, let us calculate. So mean with outlier means by including this, calculate the mean value. By excluding this, calculate the mean value. Remove this one and calculate the mean value. By keeping this outlier, calculate the mean. By removing this one, calculate the mean. Similarly, by keeping this one, calculate the median, mode and range. By keeping this one. By removing this one, again you calculate everything. And let us see what are the values. And you have got with minus 28. Including outlier, if you take means minus 28 is the mean. Median is total 7 data points are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So center is this one, 26. And mode is nothing but most repeated, 31. And range is nothing but maximum minus minimum. What is the maximum? 31. 31 minus of minus 350. That is 31 plus 350, which is 381. Range is 381. Now without outlier means remove this one. Now there is nothing. Now remaining only 6 data points are there. For this 6 data, this is the median value. Median value is average of center two values. And mode is most repeated again. Now range is 31 minus 15. Maximum minus minimum. Now this is the, now if you observe clearly, median is less affected. 26 to 28, less affected. Mode is nothing affected. Whereas mean is heavily affected. Range also heavily affected. So from this we can conclude that getting affected by outliers. Range also getting affected. Whereas median is also getting affected but less affected. Effect is less, very less. This is the most important point. Most means the most. You can keep 10 stars and you can write that one. Such an important point. With respect to if the presence of outliers are there, the mean, variance, standard deviation, range are heavily affected with outliers. Mean, variance, standard deviation are heavily affected with the presence of outliers. Whereas median and mode are less affected with outliers. They are also going to be affected but less affected. When compared to mean, it is going to have less effect. Now, how to calculate this outlier? Okay, we have seen the drawback of outlier. What happens if there is an outlier? We understand. Now, how to calculate this outlier? Any value less than Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR is called as an outlier. Any value greater than Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR is called as an outlier. IQR is nothing but interquartile range, Q3 minus Q1. Any value less than Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR is called as an outlier. Any value greater than Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR is called as an outlier. Now let us take with an example. So here are under data points. Minimum value, maximum value. This is minimum, maximum, Q1, Q2, Q3. I have calculated all the 5 numbers. Using this data points, I have calculated. Now let us check in this data points, is there any outlier is available or not? First, what we have to do? First, we have to calculate the IQR. IQR is given by Q3 minus Q1. Q3, what is Q3? 36 minus 25. 36 minus 25 is nothing but 11. Okay. After that, what you are going to do? Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. What is Q1? 25. Substitute that one. 25 minus 1.5 into 11. 36 plus 1.5 into 11. So 25 minus 1.5 into 11. Whatever the value you are going to get, which is 8.5. Any value less than 8.5 is an outlier. Any value greater than 52.5 is an outlier. In our data set, any value is there greater than 52.5. This is there now. This is considered as an outlier. This is the outlier for the data set. Is that clear? And in the box plot, we are going to represent the box plot like this. The minimum value, Q1, Q2, Q3. Now the maximum value will be after removing the outlier. The outlier will be represented by, and you are going to get a line like this. After removing the outlier, what is the maximum value is there? That is the line. You are going to get a box plot like this. Box plots are used to identify whether there is an outlier or not. How this dot is calculated means by calculating the Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. Any value greater than Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR is called as an outlier. Clear? Any questions? Advantage of box plot means, what is the use of box plot means? To identify the outliers. What is the use of histogram means? To check the skewness. Right? Now they are going to ask 100 out of 100. 100 out of 100%. 100 out of 100% they are going to ask an interview question based on outlier. What is outlier? How to identify outlier? and how to calculate the outlier. If there is outlier, what you have. If there is an outlier, means what we have to do, that we are going to discuss in the next class, further classes. Because you have to understand the pandas and I have to show you the coding. So many things are there. As of now, we have understand the questions like what is outlier? What is outlier? Next, what happens if there is an outlier in our data set? What happens if outlier available? The statistical data is getting affected. All the statistical data will be affected, like mean, range, standard deviation, variance, everything will be affected. Now, how to calculate outlier? To calculate outlier. Next one is how to identify outliers. How to identify outlier means by using box plot. If you draw the box plot, automatically outlier will be represented by dot. Sir, if any value is, for example, in my case, 5 is there, assume. Any value less than 8.5 is considered an outlier. So this side also you can get. Left side outliers will be there, right side outliers will be there. Both side outliers will be there. Lesser values also outliers, greater than values also outliers. In my particular example, if for my given data set, any value less than 8.5 is considered as an outlier. It's an outlier for my data set. These are the data points. For example, if you have selected any randomly, tell me any 10 numbers as per your choice. Anything. Sorry. Six only. Tell me any 4. For this, you calculate the minimum value, Q1 value, Q2 value, Q3 value, maximum value. After calculating, calculate Q3 minus Q1, IQR value. First you calculate the minimum value. First you calculate Q1, Q2, Q3, max. I have told you how to calculate Q1, Q2, Q3, every calculate. And after calculation, you calculate the IQR. After calculating IQR, now you calculate any Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. Whatever the value you are going to get, you store it as some value L. L means lower value. You store Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR in U. Any value less than L is an outlier. Any value greater than U is an outlier. And you tell me, is there any outliers in this case? After completion of the class, you have to practice in this way. Take any 10 numbers of your choice. And you practice. That's it. Okay. 10 numbers, 20 numbers, 30 numbers. How many numbers you want, you can go. According to your choice. Right? Now from next, it is clear, right? How to calculate the outliers and how to identify the outliers. And what is the use of box plot? Then what is the purpose of box plot? Box plot is going to represent the 5 numbers summary. What is box plot means? A plot which represents the 5 numbers is called as box plot. What is the purpose of box plot means? It is going to identify the outliers. How box plot is identifying the outliers means? By using the IQR method. For each and every question, that is the answer you have to give. Is that clear, guys? Next one is covariance. We know meant by variance. Variance of x. Variance of x is given by sigma of x minus x bar whole square divided by n minus 1 for sample. If you are going for sample. If the same thing I am writing like this, x minus x bar into x minus x bar 2 times. Square is nothing but 2 times only, right? Divided by n minus 1. This is variance of x. Now what is meant by covariance means 2 variables you are going to consider at a time and checking the variance bit, that is sigma of x minus x bar into y minus y bar. The second variable you are going to consider like this, divided by n minus 1. That is called as covariance. Covariance means variance between two variables. The variation between two variables is given by covariance. Now, what is the use of this covariance? If the covariance is positive, you have got as a positive, x means as the x value increases, y also increases. As x increases, y also increases. If the covariance is negative, then x is inversely proportional to y. Means as x value increases, y decreases. Example, if you are going to consider your experience versus salary, then automatically the covariance will be positive. As your experience increases, salary increases. As your age increases, your lifetime decreases. If you take that one, then automatically the covariance will be negative. Now the covariance is going to give you the direction. What is the use of covariance? Means it is going to give you the covariance is going to tell me the direction, whether it is a positive direction or negative direction. Positive direction means as x increases, y increasing is positive direction. If x increases, if the data points are like this, for example, you are having some data points are like this. As x value from here to here increasing, y value also from here to here it is increasing. Right? If the data points like this, from here to here, from this x value, from here to here, the x value has increased. Y value from here to here, it has been dropped. Y increases means then it is positive covariance. If the x value increases and y decreases means it is negative covariance. Covariance is going to tell us the direction and the relation between the x and y, whether it is a positive relation or negative relation. Direction is nothing but relation. Direction and relation both are same. Relation in terms of positive relation or negative relation. And the formula is given by sigma of x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by n minus 1. For sample, for population data means x minus mu and y minus mu. Mu of y, mu of x and mu of y divided by n, caps lock n. That's it. This is population. For population data, if you are working on the sample, right? That is called as covariance. Is the clear? Covariance. For the interview, we need to remember the formulas, miss. Some people will ask. Some people will not ask. Some people will ask only what is the importance of covariance. Some people will ask with respect to the formula. Okay. And next one is correlation is going to tell the strength, how much strength they are having. For example, in this class, two friends are there. Two friends, they are coming. While coming also, they are coming simultaneously. While going also, they are going simultaneously. And they are both, how much thickness of friendship they are having. Okay. They are having lightly or strong friendship or weak friendship, whatever the friendship we are having. That relation. Either friendship or enemy. Enemy also strong. Okay. So the correlation is nothing but strength. Correlation indicates the strength. Relation between it is going to tell the relation between x and y. How much strength, how much strong relation they are having. Okay. The formula is given by covariance of x comma y divided by sigma of x into sigma of y. Covariance of x and y is nothing but y minus y bar divided by n minus 1 divided by square root of sigma x, that is x minus x bar whole square divided by n minus 1. Sigma means nothing but standard deviation of x into standard deviation of y. Square root into square root, automatically square root will be gone. Okay, next with respect to square root of n minus 1 into square root of n minus 1. So this n minus 1 you are going to remove here and here to have the formula like this. Sigma of x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by sigma of x minus x bar into sigma of y minus y bar. That is called as correlation. Here I have given the formula in the next slide. Just you have n minus 1 you have removed common. In the both the cases it is common. Right? Square root of n minus 1 into square root of n minus 1 is nothing but n minus 1 only, right? Yeah. Covariance, if you want derivation, I am writing here. Covariance of x comma y divided by sigma x into sigma y. Covariance is given by sigma of x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by n minus 1 whole divided by square root of x minus x bar whole square n minus 1 into square root of y minus y bar whole square by n minus 1. Numerator you keep as this. Denominator I am going to change. Square root of sigma by x minus x bar whole square divided by square root of n minus 1. Can I write like this? This part can I write like this? Into square root of sigma of y minus y bar whole square divided by square root of n minus 1. Can I write like this? Square root of n minus 1 into n minus 1 is square root of n minus 1 into square root of n minus 1. Can I write as n minus 1? So this is going to be by n minus 1. In the numerator anyways you are going to have x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by n minus 1. This n minus 1, this n minus 1 will be cancelled. Clear? Automatically the final formula is sigma of x minus x bar into y minus y bar divided by square root of sigma into x minus x bar whole square into sigma of y minus y bar whole square. That is, and it is indicated by R. Correlation is given by R. Covariance is given by COV. Covariance is given by COV and correlation is given by R. Right? Next one is, if the correlation is equal to 1, it is perfect correlation. Whether it is a positive or negative, we are not going to consider the direction. Minus is going to say direction only. Negatively it might be correlated or positively it might be correlated, but we want either, we are going to consider the modulus of R. For example, you are having with your friend very strong correlation. At the same time, you are having one enemy, very strong correlation. He is a strong enemy, he is a strong friend. Right? In the both the cases, strong only. Strong is important. Whether it is enemy or friend, it is secondary. So here, if the value is, R value is plus or minus 1. Exactly plus 1 means the value is going to range. The range of R is going to be from 0 to 1. The range of correlation is going to be from 0 to 1 modulus of R. The pure R means it is going to be from minus 1 to plus 1. This is the interview question. What is the range of correlation? Minus 1 to plus 1. Any value can be minus 1 to plus 1 only. The maximum value is plus 1, minimum more than that. The range is going to be between minus 1 to plus 1. What is the indication of this square bracket, you know? So here in R, you are going to, the range of R, you are going to say minus 1 to plus 1. You can say the R is ranging from minus 1 to plus 1 like this also, you can say, right? What is the difference between these two, you know? This says that both the values are inclusive. This -1 and +1 also included. These are included. This says that both are excluded. Both of them are excluded. Whichever is excluded, that you have to write as bracket like this. Whichever is included, that you have to represent like this. Sir, -1 is included, but +1 is not included. Then you have to represent like this. Generally, we'll represent 0 to infinity like that. Infinity, after infinity, will keep only the parenthesis only, not the square bracket. Okay, that is the indication. Is not there. Okay, very few members like me only will ask in the interview. Generally, no one will ask. Okay, they will. If you are sitting in front of me, interview miss, I will surely ask in the write on the paper only. While write range, can you indicate the range? I will ask like that only. Some people will ask. We can't do anything. Okay, so they want to check into the basic part whether they are applying their brain or not. So some basic logical questions. This we used to call as. Value is +or-1, then it is called as perfect correlation. If the value lies between 0.75 to 1, it is called as very strong correlation. If the value lies between 0.5 to 0.75, it is called as moderate correlation. If the value lies between 0.25 to 0.5, it is called as weak correlation. If the value is less than 0.25, it is negligible. If the value is 0, means there is no correlation. This is one of the important parameter learning. For example, you want to estimate the mileage of a car. For the mileage of a car, company name is important. For estimating mileage of a car, company name is dependent. It is getting dependent on the whatever the petrol variant or diesel variant, or whether it is weight of the car, it is getting dependent. How many number of members are sitting in the car is dependent. Whether you are switching on the AC or not is important. Whether you are going on a normal speed or high speed is important. That is important. It is getting important on the name of the company? To be 0. In our data set, if you want to predict the mileage of a car, we are going to remove the columns which are having less correlation, which are not important. Those data we are going to remove. That we used to call as future selection. In the further classes, you are going to see that one. Future miss, which is important parameter selections, which are important for predicting the variable, which are not important. In that, for selecting that one, we are going to use the which are having less than very less correlation. Those parameters we are going to remove from our data set. Which are having very high correlation, that we are going to focus on that. Is that clear? That is end of the today's class. For today's one, not statistics. Okay. So in tomorrow's, we are going to complete the statistics. Open the statistics textbook and let us see how many chapters or how much of content we have covered in that. Let us compare tomorrow. Once we have done, we'll open that one. Generally, we'll do this one in the 6 months. We are doing in the 6 days. The entire statistics we are completing in the 6 days. Right? Important thing is, the point to be noted is practice. Otherwise, you'll forget. I am saying once again, if you don't practice, you'll forget. If you forget automatically, the further class